What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's adventure. Behind me is the Indian Mound Mall, and today I'm going to take you through a little walk down memory lane. If you are from the Newark, Heath, or Hebron area, there's not much left of this mall, and we're going to go in and take a tour. I'm going to tell you some stories that happened in my younger days, but before we do that, we're going to take a little drive around the mall loop and show you what it looks like from the outside. So without further ado, let's go check out what's left of the Indian Mound Mall here in Heath, Ohio. Okay, so throughout this video, you're going to see some images that I found online of the former stores that used to be here. And right here is the mall entrance. And before they redesigned it and remodeled it, it had a rather vintage look to it. It used to be red and white. And Massey's Pizza over here, at one point, used to be Garfield's. Ate in there quite a bit. Massey's has some good breadsticks. We're about to go in and check out the mall. Yeah, it sucks that they did away with Garfield's. I used to go in there and eat all the time. This is Indian Mound Mall, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Candy Lab is pretty new. I remember when this used to be an EB Games way back in the day. I used to go in there and get my video games. And then EB Games went out of business. And then it became GameStop. And then at one point, it became a store for like clothing and stuff. And then Nail Spa has been here as long as I can remember. And then at one point, this store used to be a skateboard store. And if any point throughout this video you remember some of the things, some of the stores in this mall that I haven't pointed out, please do so. And I believe at one point, Trampoline Park here used to be Elder-Beerman's. Yeah, sounds about right. Now it's a trampoline park. Crazy how times have changed. Here we got Shoe Sensation. Used to buy my skateboard shoes from there. Back when DC's was a thing. I'm not really sure what used to be here. It's called a New You, a massage spa. And at one point, this store here used to be a Walden Books. I definitely remember that because there was books on movies that I used to watch. And then I think one year for Christmas, I ended up getting my brother the book, the Eminem book called Angry Blonde from this store. And right here used to be an Aeropostale. It's now a community creativity character commitment store. People go in, play games and hang out, whatnot. The Daily Thread, also closed. I believe there used to be another clothing store here, also closed. This store right here is pretty new. It's called Deja Vu. It has actually changed quite a few times, but at one point it was a PacSun where I used to go get all my DC shoes, my t-shirts, hoodies. I was a skater back in the day, but yes, it used to be a PacSun. Crazy how there's not much left of this mall. It used to be poppin' way back in the day. And if you are from the Newark, Heath, or Hebron area and you have a memory here of this mall, please share your story in the comments below. It's definitely not like it used to be. We are approaching the AMC Theater here. It has definitely changed quite a bit, but at one point it used to be Hollywood Theaters, I think. And I'm pretty sure that the movie theater is pretty much what is keeping this mall alive, because as you can see, we're only 5 minutes into walking and half the stores are closed down. But this is where we come and hang out, watch new movies, see what's playing, see what's new. And then right here, where this big cover is, used to be a Sears. And there used to be a automotive center inside of Sears. This is pretty much one of the other exits here. I want to go outside real quick and tell you guys a funny story about something that happened out here. There used to be pop machines and food machines right here in this little area, then they did away with it. The door's locked. There we go. So as you can see, there is not a lot going on out here. Pretty bare. So the story that I wanted to tell you, which is Sears. So back in the day, on Friday nights and Saturday nights, this place used to be jam-packed with people. You know how I'll go to the mall on a Friday or Saturday night, everybody and their cousin and their brother and everybody's there? Well, the story doesn't necessarily pertain to me, however. My brother told me the story. So he used to hang out with his friends and stuff along the wall here, you know, doing their thing, hanging out with their friends and whatnot. So just inside is the arcade. They would go in the arcade and play games and stuff, and he would win bouncy balls. And he told me that when he would be out here, he'd be bouncing the little rubber bouncy balls. And he said that he don't know how many he actually accidentally put on the roof of Sears here. But I can imagine they're probably still up there from the early 2000s. So yeah, I thought it was funny. Thought it was funny. Well, these doors are locked. All right, so we're back inside the mall. Yeah, this used to be a Sears right here. Used to go in there and walk through and whatnot. But this is the arcade. People actually still go in here and play games, actually. They have redone it. It's a little bit nicer. They added a few more games. That Jurassic Park one right there is new. Wheel of Fortune, that's pretty new. Coming up to the food court area, which is rather depressing because it's not really a food court area anymore. Okay, so as far as I can remember, Spencer's is the only store that's pretty much still remaining from my childhood. And it still is retro, because if you go to most malls now, they have pretty much remodeled their Spencer's, but nope, Spencer's has remained the same through all these years. But check out the food court. There is 2 places to get food, and I'm going to point out some things that used to be here in the food court. Where Boost Mobile is now actually used to be a Gadzooks, if anybody remembers that. And I'm almost positive this right here, I'm pretty sure that right there used to be a McDonald's. And then at one point it was a Miller's food place, like an Amish type store. And then over here, I'm almost positive this used to be an Arby's. And then you can see that there's a wall now. But I think there was a Sparrow's Pizza. Definitely was something else. Can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, it's not much to our food court, unfortunately. And then cheesesteaks. Jamie's Cheesesteaks. Baker's Table, which actually at one point used to be a Taco Bell, which was one of the hottest places to eat here in the mall. Ate there quite a bit. I can't really remember what was right there, but that used to be an Oxby's too at one point. They have some really good wings. So this is called Buckeye Pop Shop. Not entirely sure what used to be there, but this is pretty new. The last year or two they put that in. Let's see. Claire's pretty much has been here since I can remember. Annie Ann's has been here for a while. And here we got Journeys. I used to go in there and get some skate shoes as well when they sold DCs. I'm trying to think. Down here, there was a store at the end of the mall here. This used to be a Payless. It's been a couple other things since then, but currently is nothing. This is called Hula Baloo, which actually used to be a Deb's at one point where my sister worked years ago. And right down here, actually I don't even know what this is because oh, it's a kids' church. So this used to be a Family Dollar or dollar store, whichever one, way back in the day. So this here is Big Sandy Superstore. They sell like furniture and outdoor stuff. And at one point, years ago, it used to be a Hills. Well, then Hills closed down. It became Steve & Barry's. Yeah. And then they closed down. And then it left this place pretty much vacant for the longest time. And then it became Big Sandy's. I'm gonna walk back towards the other side here. And I can't remember what used to be here, but this is an actual church inside of a mall. It used to be something, but I can't remember what it used to be. This used to be a hair place right here. I remember that. Can't remember the name of it. Yeah, if you guys know the names of some of the stores that have closed down since then, feel free to drop them in the comments. Dunkin's Diamonds have been there as long as I can remember. Let's see, down this way. American Eagle has been there for as long as I can remember. Might get loud here in a second. They have a wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man going on. This used to be Rue 21. Used to get shirts from there. Not entirely sure what used to be right here. And right here on the corner, it's called Heirloom Anthology. Hasn't always been there, but it's been there for quite some time. I'm sure it was something before it became Heirloom Anthology. But right here is Dick's Sporting Goods, which at one point was a Lazarus, I believe. And then Lazarus closed down. It became a Goodies, which at one point my sister used to work there. And then they closed down. And then it became a Dick's Sporting Goods. Amazing space where you go in and play some games. There's a employment office right there. Ulta, pretty new-ish. At one point, I think there was a KB Toys in here. I want to say it could have been along this wall. I'm not sure, but I do remember there being a Gap and a Baby Gap right here along these walls. And Finish Line is right here on the corner, wasn't always there. But I do remember at one point when I was about 7 or 8 years old, these chairs didn't used to be here. And the mall actually had a special guest. They had Road Dogg Jesse James from the WWF. and he was here signing autographs and taking pictures and stuff. And I believe after Stephen Barry's closed down, which is right there, they set up a wrestling ring in there, and he had a match with somebody. But anyway, when he was here signing autographs and stuff, they put up a stage about right here, and that is where I got my picture with the Road Dogg Jesse James, and I was like 7 or 8 years old. Cool stuff. Browning's Collectibles. They sell like jerseys, Ohio State stuff, a little odd and end sports stuff. Bath and Body Works is pretty popular here at the mall. Used to be a Victoria's Secret here, which is now called the Emporium. Lens Crafters has been there for as long as I can remember. And this comic shop used to be a Gorance candy store. I think that's what it was called. My sister used to work there as well. And then it turned into like a kitchen appliance type stuff selling. They would sell like kitchen supplies and stuff. And there. And this one kind of takes me back, because right here where Rita's parlor is used to be a shop called X Gear. I would go in there and get my skateboards and hang out with other skateboarders. And then this store right here used to be what I think is called Hat World. Used to go in there and get hats. Plush Pals used to be a GNC, I think, like a nutrition center. Yeah, General Nutrition Center. JCPenney is where my mom currently works. She's not working today, but that's where she works. And then right here used to be, I'm pretty sure, was a hair salon, and then it turned from a hair salon, it closed down, and then it became a tattoo shop, which is where I got one of my tattoos from a buddy of mine. And what really sucks, this place kind of went downhill after they closed this place, but it used to be a Custom World like t-shirt shop, but before that it was an FYE. And you can see back in the day they have, look, these are like the old boob tube TVs. They still have them in the wall here. FYE would have movies and stuff playing, music videos. Yeah, they have some over here too. But it sucks that FYE went out, because FYE was one of my favorite stores to shop at. I would go get movies and CDs, posters, Funko Pops. All used to be right in here. Yeah, the TVs are still hanging from the wall, or the ceiling, I mean. That's crazy. And right over there is the counter where you would check out at. Man, I miss FYE. Hey. Okay. And then right here to the right is called the Apex Fitness Center, which at one point used to be a Hibbett Sports, which is now a gym, which is rather strange because there's a gym in a mall. But yeah, that's pretty much the tour of the mall. As you can see, there's not a lot going on here these days. Really depressing. And this is the door that we came in. So we just made a full loop of the mall. All right, so if you were unfamiliar of some of the stores I was talking about, I found some images online. I'm gonna try and match up some of these shots to what the stores used to look like when they were there. Let's check it out. So I found a photo online taken at right about this angle. You can see how the mall used to look, how it had red and white tile. You can see Walden Books there in the background. That New You place wasn't there. Crazy seeing it back then versus what it looks like now. So right here at Custom World used to be FYE, as I had mentioned before, and I actually found an image online of what FYE used to look like right here. And if you look at the photo, look how vibrant and amazing it used to look like. There was so much cool stuff in that store. And if I believe right, I think before it became FYE, it was another video store as well. So this one is actually really depressing. Obviously it's the food court, what's left of it, but I found a photo online and it's actually really grainy, but you can still kind of make out that what was here. You can see the glass right here on the side of Boost Mobile. You can see the poles in the background, and you can kind of see Spencer's off to the right. And right there, it used to be an Arby's. Yeah, there's literally almost nothing left of the food court. That's really depressing. Does anybody remember the gumball machine that Spencer's had right here at the entrance of their store? They had it sitting here for years and years, for literally the longest time. Okay, so for this next photo, not a lot has changed. According to Spencer's, as you can see, it still has Spencer's in the crazy colors and the checkered tile there. But in this photo, you can see that the tiling for the floor has changed. And earlier I mentioned that there was a Miller's, like kind of like Amish restaurant right there where McDonald's used to be. Well, right there at Boost, in this photo during this time, it was a Miller's store where you could go in and buy like peanut butter and stuff made from the Amish. But one thing that is still here inside the mall that I think is really cool is that sort of right around this area is they have what they call a wishing well coin race. Now they just moved it right over here. And yes, I'm going to put a coin in for old time's sake. So we're gonna watch it. So I got my coin here. We're gonna put it in and watch it go around and around. And there it goes. So here's another angle from a photo I found online. Shoe Sensation is still here. Nail Spa is still here. But that tan store right there, which is the gym, used to be a Hibbett Sports. And you can see the Hibbett Sports sign on the side of the wall. So for this shot I found, actually where Steals and Deals is, used to be a Route 21, but before that, I'm not entirely sure what it used to be, but it had a brown front to it, like a wood. I mean, you can see it in the photo, what it used to be, but I didn't realize this until I zoomed in on the photo. There's a reflection from this side of the wall over here, there used to be a Radio Shack. I totally forgot about that. I used to go in there and I think at one point they had RC cars. But yeah, I used to go in there and hang out and stuff. And I think there was a Foot Locker too. There used to be a Foot Locker on this side, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there was. All right, so now I am back outside of the mall now that we have done our interior tour of the Indian Mountain Mall. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you some key points of the exteriors of some of the stores that used to be here. I'm gonna drive around and kind of show you where they used to be at. All right, so here we are outside of the mall, the front of the mall, and this is the front entrance. And this is what it looks like now of 2024. And here is what it used to look like. As you can see, the two little, I don't know what you would call these, structures, circular structures on the top, used to be different colors. And you can actually see Garfield's sign where Massey's Pizza is now. Crazy how it's changed. Here's another shot of the front entrance here at the mall. You can see a little bit has changed. The Indian Mountain Mall is no longer on the front as it is today, back when, and you can see that Massey's Pizza did in fact used to be a Garfield's, but in these photos you can see that the Garfield's logo has been taken down, and there used to be trees right there in the front. No more. There's one little small tree right over there in the corner. And if you are from the Newark Heath or Hebron area, you might remember what used to be out here in the parking lot. They used to have a little festival. It was pretty much like a mini carnival. And I want to say it's usually in May every year, but they stopped doing it long ago, which sucks, because it was fun growing up and coming to the little carnival that they had going on out here in the parking lot. They had it out here, and I believe on the other side of the mall in a parking lot over that way, they had it as well. I'm pretty much standing in the exact spot where this photo was taken because I'm literally inside the yellow lines here. But this is the back side of what used to be Elder-Beerman's. And as we get close to the side of the wall here, you can kind of see that it's two different colors. Now I'm gonna get a little bit closer and see if we can see where the words used to be. I mean, you can kind of make them out. So right there is the E for Elder-Beerman. Yeah. Still slightly seeable, but I don't know why they haven't covered that part of the wall up when that tile over there looks fairly recently painted. But over here is the other entrance to the backside of Elder-Beerman's. Now there used to be a giant EB above the door. We're gonna see if we can figure out where it was at. No, you can't really see it, but you can see the little spikes and holes where the sign would have been. But can't really see into the store. But at one point, it was an Elder-Beerman. This is sort of the backside of the mall here. We got Sears right there, and right here is AMC. Now, before it was AMC, I'm almost positive that it was called Hollywood Theatres. Some time ago, Hollywood Theatres closed down, and it became AMC, which we have here today. I'm almost positive. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was Hollywood Theatres, or something similar to that. I do know that. Okay, so here we are at the back side of the mall. I don't know if you can see that building there. It's now a Rural King, and it used to be a Hobby Lobby. They changed that. Wow, Hobby Lobby is now on 79, just up the road. But we are back behind the mall here. This is the former Sears. We're gonna see if we can peek through the door here and see if we can see the inside. Maybe able to, maybe not. I don't know. I don't think so. No, not really. I mean, a little bit. Not really. So this used to be Sears. And as I stated earlier, walking through the mall, it used to be an auto care center. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a moment. Let's walk around the side. Ooh, it's windy. Lose myself out here. It's windy. So yeah, Sears Auto Center. There would have been the front door. I don't think I ever got my car serviced here. I think this is before pre-license, but I'm sure my parents did probably at some point. Crazy. They have all these doors closed. Looks like curtains up inside. But I see one over here that doesn't have one. We're gonna peek inside, hopefully, see if we can see anything. I apologize if it's rather windy. Nope, can't really see inside. I thought we could have. Nope. Nope. Okay, maybe not. Oh well, yeah. Old Sears Auto Center, gone forever. I apologize if it's a little windy out here, but I am in fact at the back of the mall. Right here across the street is Rural King, which used to be a Hobby Lobby. Right over there is Target, which I have been going to since I was little. But I wanted to match this shot up really quick, and I'm standing in almost the exact spot. But there's a photo I found online of the side of this wall. This tree is still in the shot, along with the stop sign. But on this wall right here, you can tell it has been redone. But it used to say Hills. And in the photo, you can see the remnants, the scars of what used to be Hills, which is now Big Sandy's furniture store, I guess, if that's what it's called. But it's crazy, it went from Hills to Stephenberry's to now Big Sandy's. And it's crazy that the tree is even still here. I'm gonna get a little bit of a closer look. My mind wants to still see the Hills logo here on this side of the building. I mean, maybe a little bit right here on this behalf. This is new. This brick wall, that's new. It's crazy, none of that used to be here. Okay, so here I am standing outside of Big Sandy's Superstore here for furniture. Now, right here is about the exact angle of a photo I found online of what used to be hills. And it's crazy, you can see how much they've reconstructed and redone the front of the building here. Now, I do vaguely remember it being hills, not for very long though. But I also remember it being Steve & Barry's, because I used to go in there with my mom, my stepdad, my brother and stuff, because at one point they actually had some interesting clothing. And I bought quite a few shirts from there. I remember I got some poker shirts, they had some shoes. And if I remember correctly, there were Stephon Marbury's. They were white and they looked like Air Force Ones. And then they closed down, and then for the longest time here, before they made it Big Sandy's, they kept bringing back Spirit Halloween. I remember Spirit Halloween being here quite a few times. So, rest in peace to Hills and Steve & Barry's. But there is another thing I'd also like to point out in this parking lot that no longer exists. I couldn't find an image online of the front of it, but I found one of the side. And the photo that I found doesn't have the logo on it for a store, but you can tell that this is the exact spot. So, right where it says Dick's Sporting Goods, as I said earlier, it used to be a Lazarus, then they closed down, then it became a Goodies, and then now Dick's Sporting Goods. But right where Dick's Sporting Goods sign is, there used to be an entrance, one right here and one over there on the other side. Now, it has been remodeled since, obviously, but it was more of a black facade, I guess, if you will. Lazarus was on the side of it, then they had Goodies up there, and then they completely took it down. And ever since, it has been Dick's Sporting Goods. Too expensive for my taste, but that is the former spot of the Lazarus store. And Goodies. And Hills. And Steve & Barry's. All right, everybody, that's going to be a wrap on the mall here, Indian Mound Mall walkthrough, I guess, if you will. Yeah, if anybody has worked at this mall, has visited this mall, has memories of this mall, feel free to share your story below. I would love to hear what everybody's story is with this place. And as you can see, there's not much left of this place. Who knows how long this mall is even gonna be here. So I figured I'm gonna do something a little bit different for my channel today. And so we went on a little bit of an adventure here at the mall. It sucks that a lot of stuff has closed down since then. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and let me know what you guys think. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one, and Godspeed.